Hey, Barbara Ann Bush here, San Diego, California. It is April 15th and it is the 26th day of sheltering in place. Although that sounds kind of weird based on what I'm going to say today, because I'm not really sheltering in place, though I do stay home a lot. But my lesson today has to do with foundation. And I think about this, or this came up for me today because of horseback riding. As I've mentioned before, I have a horse. His name is Mozart. He's a rescue. He's a Morgan, the oldest breed in the United States. And the breeder who had bred him brought him to the rescue for some reason. Didn't like him. Didn't like how he turned out. I don't know. He was a stallion when he showed up at 3 years of age, and then he was gelded. He was at that rescue for 8, 9 years, something like that. Had been handled, but not really ridden a whole lot or trained at all, really, to speak of. So I've trained him mostly. And I've mostly done it myself. I'm not a horse trainer. I have trained horses and I've worked with horses, but I'm not a horse trainer. At any rate, as I have worked with him, I've realized that part of the process is building confidence. Because when you have a horse that's not confident, they're going to respond in a way that's self-protective. Sounds familiar, right? People do it too. And Stacy Westfall, who has a podcast and is an actual horse trainer, shout out to Stacy Westfall, she talks about layering and thinking of horse training as like a K through 6th, and then the middle school, and then high school, and then some college and advanced, like degrees. And horses have a similar type of trajectory. And if you ask for things that are like high school level or middle school level when they're still in second grade, it's unfair. And they don't have the confidence or probably the ability to know what to do. So in hearing her talk about that and listening to her podcast, I really took that to heart. And I've actually sort of instinctively was doing it anyway, as it turns out. So it mapped nicely onto what I was already doing. I was asking little things. And I've been building his confidence and building his confidence. And today I was riding him, and somebody said to me, I was noticing you were doing dressage in the arena. I didn't know you rode dressage. And I was thinking, I don't do dressage. I do not do dressage. For you dressage folks, I do not do dressage. I have an endurance saddle, and I like to take moves that I've seen on dressage videos to help my horse with his balance and his strength and his coordination, which builds his confidence. And I've been building all these little moves for now we're toward these bigger moves, like crossing over front leg as we're trotting and moving across the arena. So he crosses across the arena in this sort of fancier fashion and does it in the other direction as well. It's not that great. He's not rounding his head. He doesn't look like a show horse, but he can do some of these moves. And when she said today, I saw you doing dressage in the arena, it looked like you guys were having fun. Do you do dressage? And I was like, I don't do dressage. We were having fun. Accurate. Not doing dressage. Doing some dressage moves. Difference. And that's what made me think about foundation, because she's right. We were having fun. His ears show it. His tail shows it. With a Morgan, their tails kind of go up. Sort of Arabians do it too, but it like plops up over his back when he's happy. We call it the happy tail. His ears are relaxed. They're listening to me. They're looking forward. He's perky. He's going, and I'm smiling and laughing, literally laughing while I'm riding because he's fun and goofy. And she said, it looked like you guys were having fun together. And I was like, yeah, we do. We do have fun together. He's my buddy. And that is what foundation provides, because it provides the ability to express and have freedom. When you've got a solid foundation, you're able to then move off of that. It's sturdy and developed through this layering process. So you have the confidence, because you have this foundation, and you have the freedom because all that little layering that went into building that foundation, those are all individual little pieces, threads, articulations that give you the freedom on top of the foundation to pull on them, to grow from them, to express them. And I think of writing now as a kind of art form. And I know people in the writing world who are professionals think of it that way, but like even when I'm out trail riding, I think of it as a kind of expression, how we're feeling is the way that he jumps over the log, or how he takes the creek, or how we side pass around something. And it's a game. It's enjoyable. And I am so seeking to provide that foundation for my students, or not provide it for them, but help them grow it and build it for themselves. And each of our foundations are going to look different. Same with Mozart. His foundation looks different because he started off in a different place. There was different things that he needed in order to build his foundation. There was other things that were already in place. For example, he's super sweet. He's got a great nature. He trusts people. He doesn't lash out at animals, or not even wild animals. Coyotes poop in his kennel. I mean, in his paddock. You know what I mean? Like, not even coyotes worry about him. And coyotes and horses, as people can attest, do not typically get along. So he's just a chill guy. So that was not something I needed to worry about with his foundation. And I want to continue to grow my foundation so that I can find more freedom and ability to express myself, and also to be able to be a more whole, and a whole person, and a better friend, and a better family member, and a better teacher. So that's my lesson today, is we should be building our foundations. And you can do that even now. There's little things you can practice. And so what I'm adding to my foundation going forward is I'm concerned about, I've always been thoughtful about my lack of coordination. I'm not the best, and it affects my confidence in other ways. Like when I'm getting on and off of a boat, that crack between the dock and the boat freaks me out because I'm worried I'm going to trip and fall. It's something small, right? But or I'm walking in front of the classroom in heels that are slightly higher. I'm uncomfortable because I think I'm going to fall. So I'm going to start slacklining. I have a friend who's going to get her slackline out, and she's going to give it to me. I'm going to find a place, 2 trees, and I'm going to practice. That's my goal for 2020. Sometimes foundational stuff is physical. Sometimes foundational stuff is mental, emotional, psychological, whatever it is you want to work on. And usually at some point, they're going to intersect and come together. So that's my lesson for today. That's all I got. Be good.